How does altitude affect running speed workouts? Imagine running faster than ever, feeling lighter, almost like the air is helping you move. Sounds exciting, right? But when you actually train at high altitude, things get a bit more complicated. Altitude changes how your body performs during running workouts, and these effects are different for sprinters and distance runners. Let's break down what really happens and how you can adapt your training. At higher elevations, the air pressure drops, which means there's less oxygen in each breath. This condition is called hypoxia. For distance runners, who relying heavily on oxygen to produce energy during aerobic activities, this makes maintaining your usual pace much harder. You might notice your pace slows by anywhere from 8 to 30 seconds per mile depending on how high you are. Your body also produces fewer energy molecules, so endurance feels tougher and fatigue sets in faster. Now, sprinters are a different story. Because they depend more on anaerobic energy systems, which do not need oxygen, they don't suffer as much from the oxygen shortage. Instead, they often find that less air resistance at altitude can help them reach higher top speeds in short, explosive sprints. That's why some sprint records set at high-altitude venues are not officially recognized. They give an unfair advantage because of the thinner air. If you're a sprinter training at altitude, you might notice you can hit faster speeds during workouts, but this benefit is mostly limited to short distances like the 100 or 200 meters. For distance runners and marathoners, altitude makes speed workouts more challenging. The lower oxygen levels mean you need to slow down your pace to avoid overexertion. For example, if you usually run a tempo run at 6 minutes per mile, at altitude you might need to slow to 6 minutes and 30 seconds or even more. Your usual interval paces will feel much harder, and your body may tire faster during long runs or intense sessions. This is why many athletes adjust their training paces when they're at high altitude. When you train at altitude over time, your body starts to adapt. It produces more red blood cells to carry oxygen more efficiently. This process takes at least 2 weeks of consistent exposure. Once adapted, you can return to lower elevations and see improved performance because your blood can carry oxygen better. But during the first days or weeks, you might feel sluggish, and your speed workouts will need to be scaled back until your body adjusts. A common approach among elite athletes is the live high, train low method. They live at high altitude to gain the red blood cell benefits but descend to lower elevations for their hardest workouts. This way, they get the best of both worlds, physiological adaptation and the ability to perform at high intensity without the oxygen deficit holding them back. If you're planning speed workouts at altitude, start slow. Ease into sessions and give your body time to adjust. Expect to run slower than usual and modify your pace goals accordingly. Keep an eye on how you feel. Headaches, shortness of breath, and fatigue are normal early on. If you have an important race at sea level, arriving early to acclimate can help you perform your best. Remember, altitude training benefits can last about 2 weeks after returning to lower elevations, so timing your workouts and races is key. In summary, altitude affects running speed workouts in clear ways. Sprinters may enjoy faster short bursts because of less air resistance, but distance runners will find maintaining their usual pace more difficult due to less oxygen. Planning your training carefully, allowing time for adaptation, and using strategies like live high, train low can help you make the most of altitude's effects. Understanding these factors helps you design smarter workouts and improve your overall performance, whether you're racing at sea level or at altitude.